What's up, everyone? This is Tio from Pepe Brothers Gaming. Who do we have here?
Pena.
Nice. What'd you do this weekend?
I got top 16 at the first regional. The second one's still going on.
Nice. All right, cool.
So I played Oob.
Why Oob?
I felt like he was just good against blue-yellow because there's a lot of super combos, and you draw a lot of cards, and you get to play the War Tournament cards, which is pretty nice. And it's a blue leader, which is kind of still OP. His front side just draw a card. His back side actually has a relevant effect against some decks. You can take a life, he gains 5k, and you bounce a card. And you can do that infinite times. So let's say you have 4 life, you can do it 3 times in a turn. Clear their blockers, kill their, bounce their, victory strike or something like that, and then set up a lethal play. So
nice.
So yeah, there's that. So we'll just get into it. I started with, I'm not going to really, say what the cards do, but 4 announcers is, the best one drop in the game right now. 3 play by pro. They go hand in hand. It's like turn 1 you play this, turn 2 you play another, and then you play this to draw 2 cards. This is just, I don't really negate, and I felt like having forward be a little too much in my early hand because I don't want to play it unless I have 2 World Tournament cards.
Yeah.
And I needed some room in the deck, so I cut it down to 3. Probably, I like this ratio a lot actually because I saw this, the announcer a lot. So.
Okay, cool.
I played 2 Unyieldings. They were just extenders. I really didn't like them. Because I felt like I was always defensive with all my super combos as opposed to offensive, but they're supposed to extend your plays. You tap out relatively on turn 3 a lot, so it just gives you an extra mana. And going forward after turn 3, you never need them, so
Gotcha.
It's kind of just like an early extender in the decks where you need to be aggressive. I play 4 Goku, 4 Oob. It's probably one of the best combos from the new set.
Yeah,
it's just pressure.
This is broken.
Yeah, it's just pressure. It just kind of sucks when you play against the mirror because it's always who summons there first kind of loses because you clear some guys, then they clear your combo, then it goes back and forth. So good combo in general though, pretty strong. Then because I'm a blue leader, I do play the finishers. I played 3 Grandpa Gohans and 3 Pans. Yeah, the Pan is just a super threat. It has a permanent where it becomes 25 as long as this is on board and this is barrier, so they can't really deal with it.
Yeah.
This restands a mana and you draw 2 cards, so there's kind of dirty plays where you can turn 3 tap out, successfully play this, turn 4 play another one of this, and then awaken and Bean or something like that and play this and draw 2 cards, draw 4 cards, untap 2 energy.
That's broken.
Or if you turn 3 this, turn 4 you can play a Pan, turn 5 you can play a Pan, and then you have serious threat because they have dual attack, double strike. One of the best finishers for the World Tournament decks, I have to say. It's probably better than the Jacket Sun finisher or anything like that. And it's blue, which is nice, so pretty good.
And you have to play a blue leader to play.
Yeah, this is the blue finisher. Each color has its own finisher. This is the blue one, so it's actually almost the MVP of the deck because a lot of people just can't deal with it because they can't Goku Oob it because it's 25, and no one really summons the Trunks combo. Really, they always energy that, so the guy can't really do anything. So. Then I played the Secret. It was cool because, in theory, your opponent charges 6 and you just win on the draw. But not a lot of people charge the 6, so most of the time it was just a dead card in my hand. But really good against the non-World Tournament decks because it forces them to stay at 6 and they can't stay at 5 energy and they can't really do anything at 5 energy because 6 is really the sweet spot for most decks.
Yeah.
It was cool. I probably wouldn't play it again, but then my black card choice was Massan. I thought this would be the most impactful one with everybody having the Goku Oobs and all the World Tournament decks with the announcers left on the board. And it's really crucial to clear the most amount of black cards because the Demigraw Secret that people are playing, when they leave the one drops on board, you get rid of them, and they miss their count for Demigraw, so they can never Demigraw you. So I think this is the best one. I probably keep the numbers in.
Nice.
And then my deck has a lot of super combos. I played the 4 World Tournaments that you play at 5 mana, the 4 pseudo combos, and then because I'm Oob, I get to play the extra super combo. It's just an extra card, which is really relevant versus Hit and Demigraw. It draws you a card, so you just want to max out the amount of super combos you can play this format to be blue yellow. So I played 4 negates. They kind of go hand in hand with the announcer negate. So it's just blue mana most of the time, but they do work well in the late game. 4 beans, a staple in any deck. And because I'm playing a base blue deck, I played 4 Xenobun. This is what really pushed it over the edge versus blue-yellow and the aggressive decks because you would tap out for your plays when you set up Grandpa, and then you would untap 3 mana, and now you'd be open 3 mana, and because you have all these super combos that cost a mana, they can't really kill you, and then you can punish them with Pan the turn later. So it lets you tap out in the mid game, and you don't really get punished. So I think I kind of want to bump this up to 4, but
yeah, that card is broken.
Yeah, it's a good card. And then for the side deck, I played 3 Mafuba. I was kind of cold to Victory Strike and Vegito, so I thought this would be the best way to out those cards. You only need a couple turns with Pena to win the game actually from straight advantage, so dealing with Vegito for 2 turns is fine. And then because of Oob, any card you Mafuba, after it comes with Mafuba, you can put it back in their hand because of Oop's power. So like, you never really have. This is kind of like almost like an exact out to the card that you don't have to worry about. So like you Demigra, and then you Mafuba it, and it stays on 2, or you Victory Strike, and they put it back in their hand, and they can almost never summon those cards again. So that's like really relevant about Mafuba. Then I played 4 Horo. As we go through the side deck, you'll notice that I didn't play any Chronoas. And the reason was because if they play Shigesh, they only play like 1 or 2 Shigesh, and it's not very impactful if they do get it. While tapping out and then like untapping 4 mana is like kind of insane, and the critical is really good versus the DL leaders in general, because outside of Bean, they really have no way to constant pump, and they're just throwing cards away. So I just thought that instead of Cronoa playing this for advantage would be way better, because they would only have 1 Shugesh, maybe maximum 2. Anyway, so I don't know if I do this going forward, because if you start doing this, people play 4 Shugesh, but it was good for this tournament. I did play some green leaders and some yellow leaders with the U7, and it really punished them, as opposed to the Cronoa, so that was really relevant. I played 2 Dimensional Barrier Fu. They kind of go in with the Mafubas, because you get to leave everything. It comes back in attack mode, the Vegetas from the Mafuba, and you get to punish them. Like somebody like did the Emperor Freeze on me, and like I took 1 life to remove it, and it's a hard out versus most of the decks that don't go wide. So I thought it was a really good choice. If there wasn't aggro decks, I would probably play this over Mass in the main deck. And it's a 0 combo, which is kind of relevant because your super combos are all mana. And then I played 2 Mirror. This was mainly just for Vegito, because if you can't Mafuba them, you want another out, and it gets so big that it just finishes. And yeah, it's also just a finisher, so that's...
So you side this in against, like, whenever you see your opponent playing Vegito?
Yeah, pretty much just Vegito. I mean, you could side it in for people like Hercule, who gets really big combos, because they can't ever combo this. So if they're at 2 life, you just combo this, and like... And then a card that I combo with it from the side was 2 of the double strikes. They go hand in hand with the mirror, because the mirror comes so big. And it's just, you can search this with the... You can search this with the announcer, and I thought I would probably want to main it because Oob has its own super combo for Oob, so if you're ever on the offensive with it, you can only kind of attack with Oob, which is a single strike, so you can give it double strike like that. So that might be the main deck. And then for creature-based matchups and anything that's not a World Tournament deck, I can go to 6 mana, so I side to send just to bounce like their threats. Like Soul Striker has Vegito in it, you can bounce the Vegito too, and you can bounce their barrier threats, which is really nice. So it's a good way to deal with that, or like Emperor decks, you can bounce that. And then my other finisher for when the secret rare wasn't good enough, I like sided this almost every game that wasn't aggro. Nobody really expects it. It kind of like, you charge a 6, you play this, and even if they play the World Tournament decks, you can keep the secret rare, because if they charge a 6, they can play it, but it doesn't do anything. And then on your turn, you play your 6. You have 7 mana, you play it, and then you knock their guy out. So and you kill them pretty much, because they probably won't live to this anyway. So
nice.
And that's the deck list.
What would you say is your hardest matchup for?
My hardest matchup would probably be U7 Frieza, just like game 1. The Mafuba. I don't have Mafuba, so I'm kind of cold to Victory Strike. So they auto get game 1.
Yeah.
And then like I don't lose game 2 and 3. I played that deck like a few times during tournament, and I always won on the back of game 2 and 3. But losing game 1 so important matchups that it's rough.
Yeah. Any changes you would make?
Yeah, so I have no Self-Awakening, so I probably would cut the Unyielding for the 1-drop hand. That's what I'm doing today in the second day.
Okay, nice.
And then I need an out. So I would probably max the number of black cards in the deck to play Demigra.
The Demigra? Yeah.
Yeah, because the World Tournament Secret wasn't that impactful, but... that's about it.
Yeah, you'd probably cut one of these for it?
Yeah, I would probably cut the numbers of those, because you can't overwhelm the black cards. So like, I probably would cut the number of those down, like, include more pans and demigras, and just put like maybe 1 mass in for after the demigra. But that's pretty much, or like minus Achilles on.
Cool. Yeah. All right, well, congrats on your top.
Thank you. I got some shout outs.
Yeah, any shout outs?
Shout out Pipe Games, Pirate Brothers. Shout out the whole team, you, Gio, Chris, Christian, who got top cut yesterday as well, I think. Whole bunch of everybody. Shout out Gem Playmats, they also sponsor us. Shout out Mike Barry. It's pretty much, he gave me all the cards, pretty much his deck. Shout out to him. Shout out to Frank Pasadante. He's gay, so shout out to him. Shout out to everybody, Sean Cooper and everybody.
Okay.
And all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, congrats, and we'll see you around.
Yeah.